Hello dear groaners, and welcome to the episode that is number 43 of the Groan Zone. As always, I'm your host, Mystery Groaner. Let's deep dive, shall we, and see how deep down the Groan Zone hole goes. Me to groan first? Oh, most gracious of you, my dear groaners. Groan number 1. Why is it that during dates, you always seem to plan it around food? At least in my experience. There's more to life than stuffing your cake or your pie hole. So, I don't understand why. Just, why? She can go, we're going to the beach today. And at no point should you go, we'll get fish and chips. Just say we're going to the beach. That's it. Don't worry about food. Groan number 2. When your bag for life dies on you after literally 30 seconds of use. Trust me to pick out the only knackered bag for life that does not want to function as a bag for life, especially when it's full of shopping. Thank you, unnamed shop, because I don't want to be sued. Groan 3. When a woman or man sees themselves as God's gift. Now, I'm sorry, but you sit your bum down. You are merely a human, and aside from maybe looks or a special skill, you've really got nothing else to offer. You're not gonna give it the big un. You're just gonna sit there and accept you're merely a human like the rest of us. So just sit down and stop trying to be big. It ain't big, it ain't clever. Sit down. There they go. Off to oblivion again. Bye bye groans for another week. But don't worry groaners, your turn will come later in the show. And now we go from groans to games. We transition to our first game of the episode. This week's is Mythical or Legendary, the first game. Normally I do the £5 countdown, but I switched it up a little bit. Round number 1. Dalton Faraging, I really hope I pronounced that correctly, 25 of Michigan, USA, was working on his car when he felt a spider run up over his hand. He then suddenly felt a sharp pain. He swatted the spider away, didn't kill it though, but couldn't see anything save for a little red mark. He went to go get it checked out, and was given the all clear from the hospital and sent home. As the weeks passed, that same area started to swell, and to his horror, baby spiders hatched out through the area. Is this mythical or legendary? Ooh, we have a split! A split from the audience listening along live! Legendary and mythical have been called out. Okay, we'll find out later on who was right, who was wrong. Round number 2. Pools will turn red if you pee in them. Apparently, you can't pee in the pool because there's a special chemical that turns the water around you red, blue, green, whatever colour of the rainbow that those that own the pool have decided to pick. The point is that everyone will be able to tell that you peed in the pool. Is this mythical or legendary? Legendary's been thrown. Oh, another split! Mythical and legendary again! Wow! Okay, ho! We'll come back. This is interesting, this. We'll come back to this later on before we end the show. You think you were lucky and got points? You'll find out, However, the next person isn't really that lucky, but also lucky at the same time. Yep, it's time for Ohhh Unlucky! This week's Ohhh Unlucky is a Croatian guy called Frano Selak. And it's more like the situations he's been in. In 1963, he was 32 at this point, his mother was ill, so he decided to fly from Zagreb to Rijeka. I'm sorry any Croatians listening, I don't mean to butcher names here. To see her. Earliest flight was fully booked, but the airline allowed him to sit in the rear with the flight attendant. Nice of them. Shortly though, before landing, the plane door flew open, and he and the flight attendant was sucked out of the plane. The flight attendant, 2 pilots, and 17 passengers died, but he landed on a haystack and survived. I believe he might have been one of 7 survivors, but I might have that wrong. A year before the plane crash, he was on a plane that, I think it might be train that derailed and crashed into an icy river. He suffered from hypothermia and a broken arm, but still swam to safety and survived. And then in 1966, he was on a bus that skidded into a river, another river, leaving 4 dead where he swam safely to the banks and only suffered minor cuts and bruises. And then in 1970, God, this guy, and 1973, two similar incidents in which a car he was driving simultaneously caught fire and exploded. Just before he was able to flee to safety, he survived. Oh my God! Then he had 22 years of no accidents. Get in! However, 1995 decided to go, this is your year, when he survived being hit by a bus when he was walking along a street. Oh God! In 1966, he was driving in the Croatian mountains and an oncoming truck caused him to swerve off a 300-foot cliff. He jumped out at the last second and landed on a tree as he watched his car plummet to its doom. Wow! Frano, damn man! Unlucky to be in all that, but very lucky to survive. Wow! Put the lottery on, Frano. Do something! You're clearly the luckiest guy in the whole universe, whilst also being one of the unluckiest. What? However, we now take out the unlucky and go back to Groany with the audience groan. And this week's audience groan comes in from Micah Z of Rio de Janero, and he groans in via FB Messenger. And he says, when your ex cannot take a hint, even though you're happy with a new girl and have not been with your ex for 3 years. Oh, we're going there, our. Good groan, Micah. I don't know how the law works over there, but perhaps think about a restraining order. Maybe put one of them in place so your ex-girlfriend gets the hint. However, Micah groaned in via Facebook Messenger, but that is one of the many ways you can get in contact here with us at Groan Zone HQ. You can do so via Discord under the Groan Zone Podcast, via Facebook groups under the Groan Zone Podcast. You don't need to be invited. You can just join straight in the Groan Zone Podcast group on Facebook groups. You don't need an invite. Fly off an email to thegroanzonepod@gmail.com, via Facebook Messenger under Mystery Groaner, that's Mr. with an E on the end, and lastly, via one of our newest ways, WhatsApp on +44 750 375 1359. But you must tell me your name, just your first name, I'm going to be your full name, first name, last initial, and where you're from. No more than that. If you want to remain anonymous, tell me where you're from, and just say anonymous, and that'll be fine. Numbers get erased afterwards, so privacy will be assured. The number one more time, +44 750 375 1359. Look forward to hearing from you. But don't forget though, you can also send in your Well That's Creepy stories, at least until October, because in October, Well That's Creepy gets retired for a while. Your Ohhh Unlucky stories, and your Hero or Zero of the Week nominations. But please, keep your Zero of the Week nominations not too personal. You never know, it could get you in trouble, and I don't want to get anybody in trouble. You can also give me feedback, don't forget that. Now, we must go from groans to yet more games. It is now time for the 5-point countdown. You ready, audience listening live? Are you ready, guys? Yep, they're ready. Here we go. Clue number 5. I wear makeup as part of my act. These clues are going to be really innocuous because I've gone for something which hopefully they're not going to get straight away. And anyone listening along after the fact, hopefully you don't get it straight away or I'm not doing my job properly. One of the audience members wrote my 13-year-old daughter. If she found her way onto my podcast notes, it might be a little bit, but no. I'm going to squash that one immediately. It isn't your daughter. Very good guess here. A geisha. Very good guess. However, I can reveal now, you're both wrong. Clue number 4. Lots of people fear me. This is where I might have gave it away too easily. I see head scratching. Guesses are thrown in. Yep, someone's thrown in clowns. Guesses are coming. Someone's wrote in death. I don't think Death wears makeup. Mr. Grim Reaper, if you're listening, I mean no disrespect. Don't come for me yet. Wow. So, from one end of the spectrum, clowns to death. Okay? Good guesses. Clue number 3. I can often be bad or evil in films, etc, etc. And I'm loving the show this week. Wow. Ooh, people are thinking. Remember, if you think you've got it right, it's up to you to hold your answer or change it. If you change it and you got it right previously, those points are gone. They're not yours. If you change your answer, you lose. People are thinking, am I going to type? Am I going to change my answer? Am I leaving it there? I'm still waiting to just see typing. People are typing and stop typing. You're confusing me, audience. Stop it. Good guess. Someone's put in robots. Okay, good guess. Right, moving on. Give you plenty of time, guys. Clue number 2. Some of us have special talents, but my feet are not that big. Again, I may have given it away here. I bet you guys playing at home, you're scratching your heads going, what the hell is Mystery talking about? No. Slappy? Slappy? I have no idea what that means. Slappy. That's got me confused, that one. I'm waiting for an explanation to see what Slappy is. I'm not sure I want to know. Oh, a Goosebumps puppet. God, that's a reference. Goosebumps. Wow. Not seen that since I was a teenager. That was a long time ago. Okay, we're cutting off answer number 2 now. Sorry, clue number 2. Last one, worth 1 point. Many of you don't find me funny. Again, I've probably given it away here to those playing along live and at home. We'll see. Many more answers popping in, guys, before I cut it out. No more answers, that's it. Answer will be revealed later on. However, we now must tiptoe through the tulips together into Well, That's Creepy. A young boy in Oklahoma was fishing in a local pond near his house when suddenly he started yelling for his mum. As it turns out, he'd caught a fish with human-like teeth. I believe I've mentioned this fish in a previous bout of Yes or BS, way early in the podcast. But imagine it though, a fish that can literally chomp, and I don't mean like a piranha, chomp you with human teeth. Think about that for a second. The fish is called a pacu or a pacau, P-A-C-U. I'm not sure that's how you pronounce it, but I'm going for that. And it is not local to the boy's area. It is what's known as an invasive species. I'm not sure what's worse, a bite from one of these fish, or that some idiot is releasing them where they shouldn't be. In either case, it's definitely worthy of, well, that's creepy. Now, we go from creepy to zeros with Zero of the Week. Now, I had a brilliant one for this week, but then something happened when I was out, and I just had to take its place. This week's is a dumbass kid in McDonald's who kept vaping and giving it the biggin when confronted and asked by staff to leave. His mate soon ditched him when a big security guy got in his face and he turned into a blubbering jellyfish. He was then told he was banned until further notice and also given his money back, although I don't think he was given all of it back, just I think a little bit of money there. I could have that totally wrong, but I was just hearing bits and bobs. But his order overall was cancelled, so he probably got all his money back, I don't know. Mate, you were warned not to vape inside the restaurant, and you kept doing it. For not adhering to the rules and abusing the staff, you're a complete arse. And also, you're now layered up with a generous dunking of Zero of the Week dishonours, you absolute plum. And now, just before we go there, we've just got time for the game answers. First one, anagram anxiety. Nobody got the answer this week. I didn't get it, I'm hopeless at these. But the answer was a guzheng. I believe it is G-U-Z-H-E-N-G. And it's a Chinese plucked instrument, or a Chinese plucked zither I should say, a zither. Nicole, I don't know how you thought I'd get that. I've never even played with a zither. Hey, rhymes! I've never played with one of them, so how the hell am I gonna get it? And if anyone who wouldn't know what Nicole is, Nicole's the admin and creator of this game, the game that tortures all of us. It was a very simple answer, she writes. Oh, bless you. I'm not having a go, far from it. Oh, but wow. Anagram Anxiety will be back next week and will pop up as soon as the show's published out there and flown out on the internet. Now, those that played along live, the 5-point counter and answer was clown or clowns. I believe one audience member got that on 4 points. Well played to you. Don't think anybody else got it who was playing along live. If anybody got that, make a note of where the points were. That's how many you scored. What can you do with your points? Absolutely nothing. It's more like a metaphorical pat on the back. And now, I must apologise for mythical or legendary because they're both myths. So anyone that wanted for legendary, absolute rubbish. I made the first one up off my own back, so the incident never happened. But I do know for a fact, I believe, if spiders, I don't think they actually can put eggs under your flesh. I don't think they can pop out because apparently it's not possible. I could have that wrong, but I made the story up. Absolute garbage. And the second one, there's apparently no dye that can do that. So if you pee in a pool, you're dirty though if you do, you can do it to your heart's content. And the rest of us have to float around in your pee. Now that's a creepy story in itself. And with that, hope points were scored. But that's it for the Groan Zone for yet another week. See you next Friday, Groan Crew. Stay groany.